Hi, this is Joe Satriani. I'm here to tell you about my new album, The Elephants of Mars. Track number 9 is Pumpin', and this is a physical song. It's just a song about feeling great and feeling all of your body pumping on all cylinders, you know, just feeling 100% of yourself all the way to the final sort of ecstasy of the end of the song. And there's no deep meaning or political statement or anything about it. That's all it is. I thought to myself, I wonder if Bryan is going to want to play this, you know, because the requirement for the bass player is pretty insane. The chord progression is kind of weird, and then Bryan's got to sit there and really pump it out, which he did. He just like jumped all over that thing. He loved it.
When I was listening to the bass playing, I was like, it can't just be a synth because of the way that the lines, they definitely sound bass guitaristic to me. They don't sound like anything that someone would play, even if you were trying to play like dug with 2 fingers, you know, trying to get the speed that like a bass player would be playing, you know, like Steve Harris from Iron Maiden or something. You could never get the feel the same way.
Beautiful, incredible solo by Ray, and Bryan did an incredible job with that bass. We put it through a Dimension D at the end, and it sounds just insane. It sounds like 80s bass, but in a good way.
I call this Jocko. This is like the funkiest song. I love it. This is one of those situations where the bass is driving it more than the drums. I mean, it's almost like the bass is the drummer and the drummer is the bass player. I love this song. And for a minute there, it wasn't gonna be on the record. I went, no! I love Pumpin'. Killer.
One of the cool things about writing on your own is that there's nobody saying to you, you can't do that, you know? So I just did it, you know, and I would just literally email them at the end of the night. They'd all be sitting at home going, what? What kind of an album is this anyway? You know, but you know, I never got a negative vibe back from anybody. They all said, this is gonna work, we'll figure it out, well, you know, I got some ideas.
Kenny Aronoff said a couple times that this record was like Joe Satriani meets Weather Report in a couple of spots, where we really kind of leaned into the instrumental fusion side of rock fusion.
I think we were all kind of loving those sort of albums when we were thinking about playing this particular track. I could just hear it in the bass and the drums, and definitely chose to do a keyboard sound along those lines.
This is a good example of that kind of like really exploratory material, I think, that Joe was getting into on the record.
It went all the way to mixing, where Greg and Eric were sending me different versions of the same song with wildly different approaches sonically, until we all said, oh, that's the one, you know. And in this particular case, with Pumpin', it was the sound of the bass guitar. It was just like, whoa, whatever that is, Bryan is gonna be so happy with that. So it turned out really great, and it's a guitar performance that was sort of off the cuff and untouched, and that's something that you always wonder about. Can I pull that off when I'm at home alone? Or is that the kind of thing you only do when you're in front of 20,000 people? But the answer is yes, you can do it. You just got to use your imagination.